What is going on, everyone? Welcome to BP Insights. So I had to give Darius M credit for this. He was spot on with this take that looks are about 95% of attracting women. Because you got to think about it. Here's the thing you have to understand about when you make a statement like that, and because most people will think that's wrong. Because you think about it, most guys will think, so I'm not in that 95%, so I must be unattractive and I'll never get a girl. That's kind of the initial thinking. But how it works is, for a given guy, say for you, example, listening, a girl could find you attractive and not find me attractive. And if she finds you, all that attractive, like you're just her type, that's basically like 95% of the work done. All you have to do is really approach her, send her a text, hey, let's hang out. And and then boom, you have a date, or you're hanging out with her. That's where the 95% comes from. Basically, you just have to be their type. They just have to find you very attractive, and then boom, you're in the door. The other 5% really is just walking up to her, get the number, hey, come over. Hey, let's go to Dave & Buster's. Boom. That's where looks being that heavily part of the equation really makes sense, because too many guys would think that, would hear a stat like that and initially react and say, well, I'm not one of the, I'm more of an average looking guy, so I must be doomed with 90-95% of women. It's already over for me. It doesn't really work that way. But that's the thing. If they are, that's why looks are so critical. But it's not even always about, Darius M also touched on this too. It's not even always about being the best looking guy. Can you just be? Oftentimes, it's more so, can you be good looking enough, well groomed, well dressed, not wearing torn clothes, good hygiene, and just at least enough confidence. Because it's kind of like in evolution. Sometimes it's not really the survival of the fittest. Sometimes it's more so survival of the fit enough. Sometimes with women, just being enough isn't always the case. But in the instance of if you approach a girl that you are her type, and she finds you highly, very attractive, and she probably has exes that that you kind of look a reminder of some of her exes that she was very attracted to. If you approach that girl, 95% of the work is pretty much done. The other 5%, I think the other 5% factors in. You could also, you could screw it up, but there's just such a little chance you could screw it up. It's because that's the other thing. If a girl sees you as very attractive and you're like her type, it's really hard. You'd have to really do some things to turn her off. Like, that's what I've noticed. If you're a guy that's a woman's type, then you have to really, she'll let you get away with being a little awkward, a little bit weird, a little strange. A lot of those things you can get away with. But if you approach a girl who's kind of medium interest, 50-50, and something's off with you, it's over for you. I think that's really kind of how guys can get with the girls that are kind of medium-ish interest, 50-50, is they approach them, and if their game's on point, they can at least give themselves somewhat of a boost. Then that's where guys can get a chance with the medium interest. But besides that, it's really tough. But if a girl's your type, then 95% of the work is pretty much done. Let's talk about the gym today. So I was really gutting it out. Really had quite a sweat going. Deadlift. Sometimes deadlift is, I'd say deadlift is one of those lifts. Once you get going, it's not bad. But deadlift is a lift where I feel like it's one of the lifts I really dread. That and Bulgarian split squats. I'd say those two lifts I really dread the most: deadlifting and Bulgarian split squats. Today I did lunges. Which I guess is kind of close to Bulgarians. But yeah, was dreading deadlift and got through it. Had a really drenched in sweat after that, dripping sweat. But yeah, good workout overall. Still going to try to do a little abs tonight. But yeah, some pretty good work. Always a good feeling to get that done and over with. But yeah, that was quite the grind today. But yeah, I think that's what can be tough when it comes to dating, talking with women, because you'll find a lot of girls that, number one, don't like you, which is fine. You'll find a lot of girls that are attracted to you, but they don't really like you. You'll find a lot of girls that like you but don't really respect you. It's hard to find a lot of girls that like you, respect you, and that you're also their type. That's why I think it's really hard for a lot of guys, is because I think a lot of guys that's how a lot of guys get jaded, is there is girls out there that'll really like you and make things easy for you. It's just really tough. You just have to find them. Sometimes it can feel like the needle in the haystack analogy. Sometimes it feels tough, but once you get a girl that's, really likes you, really into it, it doesn't, it makes all the searching and some of the headaches of dealing with girls that, just weren't into you, that were kind of pretending, leading you on, flaking, makes all those headaches kind of go away once you get, one girl that really likes you, is really into you. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of a tough day today. Kind of just had to gut through this day. Kind of a longer day. There's some days that are just it's funny how some days go by really fast. Some days kind of go by. I feel like there's kind of the three different types of days. The days that go by really slow, days that go by somewhat fast, and days that just fly by. I feel like you have those three type of days. Today was one of those days that I'd say kind of went by kind of slow, I guess. But yeah, it was one of those. I think that's sometimes at work, right when you get there, you feel like it's going to be a long day, and then it just kind of eventually somehow you get to the point where you can go home. And then it's kind of funny. I think once you're going home, you look back to the morning, and you were thinking. It's funny how in the morning you're thinking about how, like, the day's never going to end. I think when I first started working, I had a job that was like a 12-hour shift sometimes, and oftentimes you feel like the day's just never going to end. And especially at like 5:30, 6 a.m., you're thinking like, man, that's a long time to get out. Is that day ever going to end? But yeah, it does. And it certainly does. But yeah, there are points in the day where you're just like, oh man, it's especially like if you're like when I was working the 5:30 a.m.s to 5 p.m., 5:30. There's times where you're thinking like man, you look at the clock and it's like, especially if you were back from lunch, you look at the clock and it's like 12:30. You're like, oh man, that's another 5 hours left in your shift. But yeah, I think that's what's crazy about a job. Like, I know you get breaks, but like if you work like a 9-10 hour shift, like that's like a lot of that's a long time to be somewhere. Like when you think about it, like it's funny how breaks ease that a lot. But yeah, when you work 8-9 hours, if they're with no breaks, and it is just kind of, it does seem like that. Obviously, you always have breaks, but like if you were to work it without breaks, then you really get a sense of how long of a time that is. But I've noticed, yeah, when you work a morning shift, like if you're working at a place that closes at night, you work a morning shift, it seems like, for me anyways, I think a lot of people can relate. If you work a shift that's not a closing shift, I think it feels like that shift just goes by fast, unless it is like a super, super long shift, like a 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. or something, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. But yeah, some shifts just feel like they go on forever. And then yeah, some days do go by fast though, which is good. But yeah, good day overall. But yeah, I think it's funny watching, like watching girls in the gym. I don't even think they always. I think a lot of times they're just, kind of clowning with their, like if they're with their friend, kind of clowning around, having fun. I think girls are like that. I think once they get in good shape, it is kind of just not really there to mess around, but they're just kind of in there to, some a little bit of a stress relief kind of thing. I think, if I was a girl, I'd probably be like that. Just, can you get toned? If you get toned, get a nice butt and then go to the gym to, just kind of relieve some stress and not. I think that's the problem. I'm really taking it. Now I have kind of the anxiety to really, because I've got a pretty good physique. Now I have that anxiety. I want to keep it. I think with a lot of girls, they're just like, they get in shape and it's just like, what's the motivation? I think for, a lot of girls that are attractive, once they get in shape, that gives them a boost of becoming more attractive. But like, how much better looking can they really get? How much, obviously they can improve their physique, but is it really going to help them become that much more attractive? Obviously, I guess there's no limit to, I guess they can continue to grow their ass, but like, you think about it, like some girls are just, some girls are already pretty cute, already pretty attractive. Like, obviously continuing to get more tone and growing their butt's going to help them, but it's not, is it, if they're considered attractive by 95% of men, how much, where are they going to get the motivation to just, continue to be attractive or continue to try to get more attractive? I think some girls, you definitely see that. Some girls that have the big transformations, they were kind of cute, but they were like a little overweight. Like I saw one of those transformations on TikTok. I think those are girls that you're like, okay, that's pretty impressive. But there's girls, there's a lot of girls you'll see that are just like naturally very attractive, and going into the gym is, obviously going to the gym is going to help them, but it's just, they're already, what else, how much of a boost is it really going to give them? But I think for some girls, some girls that are a little overweight, I think, trimming down, I think will help them a lot. I feel like there's a lot of girls like that. Like if they just got into shape, not even like super toned, but if they could at least just like get in, drop 15, 20 and just get into shape, I feel like they'd be looking a lot better. But yeah, that's the thing. A lot of girls will never even have the motivation to get in the gym just because since women are born with value, this discussion's kind of already been had. Since women are born with value, there is no really motivation to get, like, what is the motivation to get in the gym when you can hop on Tinder and Instagram on a given day and have, a bunch of guys messaging you, DMing you, where is that motivation? I think for a lot of girls, the motivation to go to the gym, I guess that's where you could argue that, women are going to the gym oftentimes solely, for them just because, they already have the options. So, they might as well just do something that's going to kind of relieve stress and kind of a change of pace from their day. Not that guys don't do this as well, but I think if you ask, I think a lot of guys wouldn't admit deep down that they're going to the gym to try to look better for girls. I don't think that would be the top answer from a poll from guys, but I think a lot of guys deep down, that's what their thinking is. That improving their physique is going to help their dating life, help them attract women. I think that's certainly in the back of their mind, even if that's not the top answer when people ask them that. But yeah. But yeah, I've always wondered that why, girls are that. That was kind of the thing I wondered for a long time, is why girls that are a little overweight but are, kind of cute, kind of pretty, why don't they just lose the weight? Why don't they just get toned? That would give them that much more of a boost. They probably could. they probably could attract the guy they'd want. That's the thing. I think there's a girl that, I saw the other day, or I was talking to the other day. I think she thought I was attractive, smiled, a couple girls like that. They're a little bit heavier, but I'm thinking like, couple months in the gym and you'd be, they could be attract. Not that they can attract that guy, but they're a couple months in the gym, a better diet and a couple months in the gym away from getting the guy they want. So I think that's what girls don't understand is, I think some girls that are heavier and that are single, just, it's easier said than done because of, if they're overweight, usually there's bad habits involved, but just like if you just, take 3 or 4 months, get the weight down, get toned, that'll make a world of difference. And then, I mean, even the opposite too. There's girls, thinner girls out there too that, just bulking up, they would look better. They're just, not that they look terrible being really thin, but, being too thin is in the same way being overweight makes you unattractive. Being too thin can kind of make you unattractive as well. But yeah, I've been really thinking about how you kind of find mental hacks to stay motivated in the gym. I think that, one of the top ones I've used is, thinking that, no one else is motivated to do this stuff either. That's one that always comes to mind. And when you think about it, that really is true deep down. No one else in the gym is really motivated to do what they need in the gym or to do what they need to do. No one, I'd say this, if not everyone's not motivated, a high percentage of people are not motivated. Like on a given day at the gym, you probably look around, probably 70, 75, 80% of those people are not motivated to work out, but they got to get through it. Probably 15, 20, 25% are actually motivated, really feeling it. Those are the days you really got to appreciate when you're feeling it because, 75, 80% of the time you're not going to be feeling it. And I don't know that'd be an interesting poll. I don't know how honest people would be about it, but yeah, I think that's the thing. Probably 20, 25% of the time you'll be motivated to go to the gym, and then the other 75, 80, you're probably not motivated. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see take an honest poll. Maybe, I don't even know, 100 people, 50 guys, 50 girls. Well, I'd actually probably want to hear 100 guys. Honest poll. What percentage of the time are you motivated to go to the gym? On the days you're supposed to train, say you're a Monday, Wednesday, Friday guy. What percentage of those days you're scheduled to go, what percentage of the time are you actually motivated? So say tomorrow's Tuesday. Say you're a guy that's Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday at the gym or whatever, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever. What percentage of the time on a given Tuesday are you motivated to actually be in there? It'd be interesting to see that poll. But yeah, I think it is interesting when you get a girl that actually likes you. You kind of, and she, just comes over right away. She's all in, she's just all about you. It kind of makes you, you really go back and you question why you wasted so much time, talking to girls that weren't interested. You kind of have a lot of those thoughts in your head, but you kind of understand that if you didn't have all those, girls that rejected you, then the girl that was all into you wouldn't really appreciate it as much. Maybe you'd still appreciate it too, but if, I think that's maybe the problem that, high value guys have. Maybe it does kind of get boring, just having girls that are just, down for whatever right away. I'm sure that maybe does get boring a little bit, but maybe not. I don't know. So yeah, I've kind of found, you talk about, so I was kind of thinking, a lot of people really aren't, the nicest when you talk to them. I think that's kind of, I know I sound like Captain Obvious, but, obviously that very true statement. But I think sometimes people are too rude for no reason. And I think that, I sound like Captain Obvious also, but I'm thinking like, a lot of people just need to find that happy medium of, you can kind of not be rude to someone, but you can kind of be a little bit more stern with someone when they're blatantly being rude to you or disrespecting you. Because I respect that a lot of people aren't pushovers, but you can't always just be, you gotta find that happy balance of, not being a pushover, but also, not just being rude, not just being a jerk for no reason. Like if someone's being rude to you or just disrespects you, then you can be stern with them or be not rude to them back, but you can really challenge them back. I think too many people are just rude. Like something little sets them off, and then they're just rude. They're bad attitude. I think that's a little That's a little bit what's disappointing when you interact with people. Is one thing really sets them off, and then they're just rude, and they're not. They don't want to talk. I think that's what's kind of annoying is when you talk to people. It's just like you're going to let one thing ruin this interaction. It's going to ruin multiple interactions on that given day. You're going to let that ruin the rest of your day. It's just like you have to sometimes you kind of have to swallow your ego for a minute, kind of have to swallow your pride for just a second and just kind of let things go. But yeah, people not always are open to letting things go like that. But yeah, today was a good day. The gym was really busy, as it always is. After 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock I think is the consensus really busy time for most gyms. The gym I go to, sometimes it's busy like in the morning, or sometimes it's busy like late morning, middle of the day. But actually not very busy in the morning. That's why I like to go. Squat racks. It is kind of nice to go in the morning. You see all the squat racks open, looking nice and shiny and clean. I notice, a lot of people just fight to get on, to do bench squat. A lot of people fight to get on the flat benches just to do their dumbbell exercises. And that's what I respect with a lot of guys. A lot of guys just want to do flat bench. They want to work dumbbells, because that's really where it's at as a man, working on the flat bench with dumbbells. Free weight is a lot of people talk about just so much better. Machines I think have some benefits too, but I think as I've gone to the gym more, I don't really like. It's not that I don't like machines. I just don't. I don't see the value in them as much. I think just there's nothing like going heavy squat, heavy bench, heavy dumbbell bench press, heavy lateral raises, heavy leg press. I know leg press is kind of a machine, but you see my point. A lot of those exercises, it's a lot more satisfying to go heavy on. Not that going heavy on machines isn't satisfying, but I think going heavy on, bench press and squat is just so valuable. And I think it's a really satisfying feeling at times. But yeah, I'm kind of moving back into the program I had. I might tweak it a little bit. I had quite a bit of abs on there. Did I think 4 or 5 days I'm training, multiple days I'm training abs too, to go along with, chest or legs or back. But, yeah, I mean, it's a good workout. Might have to tweak it a little bit. Yeah, like I said, it's quite a bit of abs. I'm going to try to finish up some more abs tonight. But sometimes, while I kind of strayed away from my workout a little bit, I was trying to focus on different muscle groups to kind of even, so your body kind of stays even. You don't just want to keep working. You don't just want to, keep getting a massive oversized chest. You don't just want to keep getting bigger and bigger arms. You kind of just, you want your body to really stay proportioned. You don't just want one muscle group to just be way bigger than the other. Yeah, you gotta love working out. You gotta love getting better. You gotta love getting stronger. I think cutting out alcohol has been so key. Cutting out alcohol, eating clean, steak, eggs, fruit. The kind of the bottom line of my diet, eating clean, eating good, has just been such a a critical factor in me getting stronger and leaner too. I think that's how you got to really measure your progress. Are you getting stronger and leaner? Are you getting stronger? Are you gaining mass? Are you getting stronger and staying lean at the same time? If you're doing those things all in combined, then you got to believe you're making really good progress in the gym. But yeah, I'm going to wrap with that, guys. Thanks for tuning in to BP Insights. Stay tuned for more episodes and clips from the show. Till next time, peace.